Ex-wife wants me to meet the AP before she will meet my GF. Here's a little backstory. Our now ex-wife had an affair soon after we were married and relocated our son and her other 2 children into the home of her new lover. When the affair began, our kid had just turned 1 year old and was the subject of the conversation. Even after more than 2 years, they are still together, and I have refused to speak with him. I included provisions in our divorce that prohibit either of us from introducing our kid to someone with whom we have not been in a relationship for at least 6 months. This was done in order to keep her from moving in with random males, as she had done in the previous years. As a last note, I said that we were given the option of meeting the individual before introducing them to our kid. In the last 8 months, I've had a romantic relationship with this lady, and I've asked my ex if she would be interested in meeting her before I contemplate introducing her to our kid. She agreed, but she asked if we could all come together as a group, the 4 of us, and talk. Having met him, I'm not comfortable with it. I've informed her about it many times. The fact that my son resides at this place 50% of the time doesn't help matters. She wants us to get along, but I simply can't bring myself to meet this man. Is it possible that I'm being ridiculous? Is it better for me to simply go ahead and meet him? Any suggestions would be much appreciated. Story 2. Wife cheated on me with a guy we played video games with. I, 29 male, just discovered that my wife, 27 female, cheated on me with this man we play video games with. To begin, here's some context. For nearly 6 months, my wife and I have been playing a role-playing game. We were interested in exploiting relationships in the game to our advantage after a few months, and we decided to keep the connections completely in character. For me, in-game interactions with other players never progressed beyond a little flirtation. When I spoke to them outside of the game, it was usually something along the lines of "What's up, man?" as if they were an old friend. Apparently, my wife's in-game romances did not last. Our marriage has been rough for the last 3 months. Because she was neglecting me, I stopped assisting around the home and retreated into my own little shell. If she wasn't in the game, she'd be on a Discord call with other individuals who were playing the game or watching their Twitch feeds. This would happen in front of our children when we were spending time with them or eating supper. When she had to go to work at 6 a.m., she would stay up until 2 to 3 a.m. playing with this person. Then, since she was exhausted, she would sleep all day, leaving me to care for our 1-year-old. I never gave the late nights much attention since I did it on occasion as well because it's an engrossing game and time can get away from you. After 3 months of this, on top of ignoring me and continually turning me down when I wanted, I had had enough. I contacted her about my worries about her neglecting me and being too preoccupied with the game, as well as the desire for us to spend some time together. She retorted that I wasn't doing enough around the home and that's why she sent me out. We promised to work on problems and restore our marriage to its former glory. I then traveled out of town for a few days for work. When I returned home from my business vacation, everything appeared better at first. We ultimately had, and that's when I realized something wasn't quite right. I checked her Discord DMs a few days later and saw messages from this man saying "Good morning, darling," and I still haven't closed my Snapchat. I keep staring at this photo and am digging for any indication she is unhappy with me. When I approach her about it, she insists that they are just friends and that the stunning compliment was meant for her gaming character. I then ask to check her Snapchat, and she questions why there is nothing there before ultimately agreeing to show me. They've been texting each other nudes, sweet things I've sent her previously, and messages like "I love you, darling." It turns out. I was enraged. I wanted to storm out of the room, but she begged me not to wake the kids. After a while, I finally paid attention to what she had to say. She said that she intended to leave me for a while and that the adultery was recent. I don't trust her since the dubious time stamps on her texts extend back 3 months. She said that after our final conversation, she ceased all contact with him since we had promised to sort things out. She subsequently informed me that she didn't stop talking to him until I caught up with her. If we were going to work things out, I had her block him on everything. Things went a lot better in a few days after she broke off all contact with him, or so I thought. We've both been incredibly pleased. We've been taking care of the home together, spending more time with the kids, being extremely lovey to one another, and that has been insane. It's been similar to when we initially began dating. Then a buddy messaged me on Discord to send me evidence that she was still talking to him. When I confronted her about it, she lied again, claiming she had no idea what I was talking about. I had to then show her documentation before she acknowledged to it. They believed they were being stealthy when he changed his Discord username before entering the channel with her. What he didn't do was disconnect his Twitch account from his Discord account, which is how I found out. She said that the conversation was just to inform him that they were through and that she was resolving issues with me. She informed me he had a Discord invite from a long time ago and must have used it to chat to her. She also said that he changed his name ahead of time since many people in the gaming community we were in found out about what occurred and he was attempting to remain under the radar. That is a load of falsehoods, according to the audit records on Discord. She made an invite, then a closed channel, then pulled him into it, and he changed his name. I don't know what to trust anymore. Things have remained well between us, but I don't believe anything she says. A large part of me feels he was infiltrating her mind in order to produce the schism between us, and she just hasn't told me the truth about how long they were doing this. Others I've spoken with have informed me that my wife is the sixth lady he's done this to that they're aware of. He seems to get inside their brains in order to break up partnerships so that he may take them for himself. I've also been informed and shown proof that he continues this till another female comes along and the previous one ghosts. I've told my wife this, but she doesn't believe me and continues to protect him when I express how much I despise him. My wife was the one who informed me about prior relationships with this person, but she suddenly claims to have forgotten about them. I want to forgive my wife and work on this, but I'm at a loss on how to go. I don't believe anything she says, and this is continually on my mind. Things have gotten so much better recently, and I keep putting in the effort to mend things, as does she, in the hopes that one day I will be able to forgive her and trust her again. I'm going to arrange for us to attend marital therapy in the hopes that it would help, and she felt it was a good idea. Update: those who were interested in meeting them in person were disappointed to learn that they never did. Because he lives on the other side of the country, we have family monitoring on our phones and cameras with our home security system to keep an eye on him. So far, the situation has been really difficult. There have also been implications for her as a result of this. She is no longer able to spend time by herself. The fact that I have access to all of her social media accounts and that I compelled her to erase them from her phone means that I am always the first to know what is going on. She is only authorized to use them if I am there to supervise her. In addition, I asked that she delete her Snapchat profile. I also obtained documentation that the second conversation she had with the individual after I discovered what she had done was her telling him to leave and stating that she would never talk to him or see him or hear from him again. I nevertheless told her that it was one of her 2 strikes out of 3, which I consider to be fair. It is my intention to have paperwork prepared and to alert her of the 3rd strike, and they will be submitted as soon as they are ready. After a long chat with her, she came to see how he had taken advantage of her and grew to loathe herself as a result of his actions. She has virtually pleaded with the court to be granted the chance to correct the situation. She seemed to be quite disappointed in herself for having done it, and if it was a ruse, she should be nominated for an Academy Award. Individual treatment sessions will be organized at a later date. We both uninstalled the game, and we have lost connection with everyone with whom we had interacted while playing it together. There is still a long way to go, but it seems she has risen from the fog and has come to terms with the fact that she made a mistake in what she did.